Expect a lot of intensity out of this one, Kendall.
Big crowd reactions for these athletes here in the building. This lightweight final, we see big double guard pull.
Marcelo immediately going down on a footlock. That looks tight. That looks really tight. Espen reacting strongly to that.
Espen has a nice rotation. Looks like it's freeing the pressure just enough.
That definitely has some torque, but this does expose the back, and that is Espen's favorite thing to chase. That is a shot across the bow, though, as Espen Mathiesen surely felt that footlock.
Yeah, Espen was able to rotate his foot to relieve the pressure. It was nice, but he definitely did a full rotation with his body to make sure that his ankle and his foot were going to be safe. Still in on that footlock grip, though, as Marcelo, so he definitely keep transitioning that. There's a lot of different ways to finish with the positions of the legs, bringing the foot over the top of the hip, leaving it inside, going all the way over, and going belly down. And he is going to go in on it again. Not quite the same torque, but still a lot of pressure coming in from the hips of Marcelo. Looks like to be
that
switching.
Looks so tight. Espen struggling here.
Big grimace on the face of Espen Mathiesen. Has a toe hold of his own now locked up, and now they will roll out of bounds.
Oh.
They both did have a submission locked up by the time they went out of bounds, so it'll be very interesting to see what the ref says. 2 points apiece here, and they'll be reset on the feet.
The score may be equal, but I do think Fausto might have got the better of those exchanges. Espen's ankle will surely be feeling different tomorrow.
Absolutely. I'm a little surprised not to see an advantage on the board for that footlock attempt the first time, but nevertheless, we have a 2-2 score here, and some very fired up athletes, and another double guard pull as well.
I think we know what to expect from Fausto here.
I mean, if I were him, I'd be looking for the same thing again. That was insane. It almost looked like at one point he was going to be able to switch to a knee bar as well. Just a great sequence of attacks. Rolling towards out of bounds again. Have to be careful. Maybe looking for an attack on that same side leg, potentially a knee bar. But it also exposes the back like you said earlier, so he has to be very careful here.
Yeah, Marcelo, while successful early in this match, is playing with fire as this is Espen's A game. Espen chasing the back now, maybe settling in on top.
Beautiful seatbelt control. First hook comes inside, and 2 hooks in as they go out of bounds. Scores 2 advantages. 2 advantages for Espen here, which puts him in a very slight lead. Back on the feet.
I feel like they've both seen each other's best weapons at this point. Have a lot to think about out there. Much has transpired in the first 2.5 minutes. We see another double guard pull. Essentially a duel, you know, who gets the footlock, or is Espen going to chase the back?
Yeah, I like that they both know each other's top attacks, and they haven't changed anything. They're both so confident in their top attacks that they're going to go again, but Espen really getting close to the back again, a second time. Beautiful climbing of his left leg over the top of the hips of Marcelo, but not out of danger.
Marcelo now down on a toe hold.
This is on because Espen is rolling out. We know that they're close to the edge. Have to be very careful here. Marcelo will score an advantage. They'll come back to the center. Very interesting play of events. Both of their A games. So we had the score there for the double guard pull. And now again, round 3.
Yes, it continues, but we've seen a new variation emerge each time they've done it.
I know, I think that's why I forgot it was another double guard pull. I was like, this is so exciting. This is not what we normally see from there.
Espen again chasing the back here. Marcelo, though, likes that cross grip ankle lock setup. And now things are going to get dicey with the penalties.
Yeah, so 2 penalties apiece at this point. Third penalty, of course, will give 2 points, and 4th penalty is a DQ. So only one more penalty per athlete can be afforded here for anything, not just for the guard pull. Let's be a little more careful. 6 minutes left on the clock. It's a long way to go. Espen has a very slight lead here with one advantage. There's a third double guard pull here.
There is some debate if the pull was timed correctly, but inconsequential now. Espen again chasing the back. Fausto chasing the ankle lock. Espen now in a great spot.
It was a much better attack for Espen than before, but still Marcelo is able to come up on top. One advantage per athlete. Inches the score up just a little bit. Espen maintains his one advantage lead and is on the bottom position where he wants to be.
And now we get to see what Fausto's top game looks like. Maybe he'll even dive again on a footlock. He seems to have found a look that he likes.
I wouldn't be surprised. Looks very confident in that position. Almost giving up his back in the process, so confident. So we know that he knows he can finish. And we're only halfway in this match.
We've seen a lot. And very few people escape Espen's back attack, so clearly his defense there is also pretty sound. And while we've been basically treated to an explosive match for 5 minutes, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little more calculated approach take effect here in the second half of this match.
I would agree, especially because now we're in a solidified guard rather than a double pull. So it's a little bit more dicey as far as who sits and who comes up on top. Now thinking about sweep points rather than advantages, so a little more tactical here, a little slowed down.
Marcelo, usa o seu pé direito para estourar a pegada dele. No dedo dele, Marcelo. Estoura a pegada dele com o seu pé, Marcelo.
3:45 on the clock. Espen still has that one advantage lead, so it's a very narrow fight.
Fausto now doing his best to throw by Espen's guards, but nothing doing there. Espen shoots up a triangle. Fausto looks to counter again. Both matching each other's attacks quite nicely out there.
A manga dele com a mão direita. Segura a manga dele com a mão direita.
Espen's guard retention among the best in the business. 3 minutes now left on the clock.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think we've seen a lot of on the knees passing this tournament, when maybe a little bit more than normal, but a lot of respect for people's guards when you stand up and the legs are open and there's a lot more opportunity for inversions and passing the lapels through the legs. I just feel like we've seen a lot more passing on the knees than usual, and this is no exception. You know, Marcelo's staying nice and low so that Espen can't go underneath and start to search for the back like he would like to. And kind of has Espen's legs crisscrossed. We saw this earlier with Felipe Andrews' match. It's a tricky position because for the top player, it feels like you're bringing a lot of pressure down, you're compressing the guard. But at the same time, because the legs are crisscrossed, even if you do start to get around, that one shin is always going to be in front of you.
Nice pressure on top for Fausto here. Ticking some seconds off the clock. Both athletes taking a quick look. 2 minutes left here.
Yeah, Espen seems to be very comfortable with his game plan here. Doesn't look very threatened, looks nice and calm. 2 minutes left, has a one advantage lead. Marcelo knows he needs to start to get some action moving. He needs to at least put an advantage on the board to even things out. But it's hard to do that, to get past the lasso of Espen without exposing yourself in the process, right? That's the dilemma there.
Strips the grip, does Fausto. Now smashing down on Espen here.
Hard to see from this angle, but it looks like Marcelo attempted to jump in and start to attack a foot. But if he does lose the submission, then he's going to give up the 2 points, and he does.
That may be the defining exchange in this match as we approach a minute 15 here. Espen now up by 2 and an advantage. Fausto will surely lock on at least one more ankle lock in this match. That will at least tie the advantages. Here we see him looking to go for the 50-50 sweep instead.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a tough way to end a match with a 50-50, but if anyone can get a footlock from here, it is going to be Marcelo, getting some pretty good extension. As far as 50-50 footlocks go, this is actually looking quite tight.
Espen shakes his head no, though. He looks okay with it and protects his own foot by locking the figure four. 2 points, though, awarded to Fausto. A lone advantage separating these two athletes here. 30 seconds left.
Maybe looking to attack that top arm.
Is that a...
Look to be a wrist lock, maybe.
He's going for that advantage any way he can. The question is, will Espen opt to come up?
Very tight finish here with 10 seconds left on the clock. Espen Mathiesen with a very slight advantage lead here in our finals match of the Europeans. Incredible match here.
Espen Mathiesen captures his very first black belt European title. One of the most exciting matches of the day. Great showing from Marcelo Fausto. That's an instant classic here at the European Championships.
It's exactly what we like to see when athletes are taking risks to make something happen.